Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of Thrasher Opera House Presents, our podcast here on YouTube and Spotify. And we are stoked to be joined by Danielle and Nicole, who's going to be performing here at Thrasher in Green Lake on Friday, February the 24th. The Danielle and Nicole Band, opening Brandon Miller Band as well coming in too. So we are really excited. Danielle, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, Jason.
Yeah, so needless to say, as we're kind of getting set for this, we always try to give our audiences a little idea of what maybe they can expect. But as I'm looking through this and kind of following you around, man, you've been at this a long time. This has been in your blood. It's been your family forever.
The music it does run in my family. It's generational. My parents are musicians. Great aunt and uncle were string ensemble players. So it comes from both sides. And then I was fortunate to be able to tour with my brothers for many, many years in the band Trampled Underfoot. So yeah, it's just I started listening to, thankfully my parents had really great taste in music. And so we were listening to Muddy Waters and Etta James and Bonnie Raitt and Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin all at a young age. So we really invited all kinds of music, and so we just kind of fell into it at a young age, and it just been on the road ever since.
It's awesome. What a soundtrack to grow up with, too. I mean, just kind of talking about all those bands and all that music you were listening to. That's so formidable when you're coming up as a musician and kind of learning the craft as well, too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, there's a lot, when you learn about the foundation of American music, it caused me to appreciate it a lot more. I know that.
Talk to us about the show that people are going to see here at Thrasher Opera House in Green Lake. I know this is kind of new territory for you as well. You've kind of never been this part of Wisconsin, and Wisconsin is ready to see you. So, what can they expect? And get the doors blown off, pretty much, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty epic. Brandon Miller kicks off. It's going to be a long night, not like oh my god long, but it's going to be a full night of really great original music. And Brandon Miller is my guitarist, and he's got a really incredible band. And they're able to come out and start off the show. But there's a lot of there's funk, there's blues, there's R&B, there's rock. I mean, it's really it does have everything in there, and it's not super intense. We're a dynamic band, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's not I would like to call it like heavy blues. It's hard to categorize it though, but we just have a lot of fun doing it, and it's original music. And so to be able to play for a living and do that is pretty awesome. So we the gratitude we hope comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally,
And
totally. And
yeah, and
people,
it's cool to play in new places, new areas of the country. And I've been to Appleton, I've played Madison, but I haven't been out to the Thrasher yet, and I'm really excited to visit y'all at Green Lake.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. We are looking forward. If people need tickets, they can go to our website, thrasheroperahouse.com, to get those still. No problems about that. Beyond the touring schedule and the music you're making, you've kind of you've formed a spot in the world as being recognized as a pretty fantastic bass player as well, receiving some awards and accolades, Grammy nominees as well to go along with it. How mind blowing is that?
It's insane. It really is. I didn't give my life to music, to be recognized and do all that. But the gratitude of people that pay attention to the industry and have given their life in some way to music as well, to recognize the hard work, especially as a female in a very male driven industry,
Right.
male driven category of instruments. So to be recognized as a female just in general is pretty incredible. So any time I would get a nomination, it would just be like, oh, that's really cool. I didn't know that I was the first woman ever nominated for Blues Music Award on bass. Someone told me that, and I was like, I had no idea, just to have that honor in general. But it was also kind of sad because it had already been going for decades, and there's so many incredible female musicians So it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. But I always appreciate any kind of help getting my name out and getting the spreading the awareness of women rocking out on the bass.
Yeah, that's super cool. Let's talk about the rest of the band too. Formidable, man. I think man, you guys are a pocket, no doubt about that. Just feels good together. You rock out. Talk about the band a little bit.
Yeah. As I had mentioned, Brandon Miller is my guitarist. He's a founding member of the Danielle Nicole band since when Trampled Underfoot disbanded and I went solo. He's been there ever since, and we're in our 7th year now. And he's just an incredible guitarist. He's just as strong at playing rhythm as he is soloing, and that's very, very difficult to find. And he's got a general respect for the idea of musicianship and being together. And he's got such a positive attitude on top of being a killer musician and a killer person. I really have been fortunate to have him in my band this long, just in general at all. And on drums, we have Go Ray. He's an internationally known drummer, just an incredible musician. I'd been trying to get him on. Brandon and I had been trying to get him on for like, a year. I'd be like, hey, you got these dates open for some shows? And he's like, I do not. And I was like, oh man. And then like he said no so many times. I was like, well, maybe it's just personal. And Brandon was like, I don't know, man. And at this time, Go is playing with Brandon. I'm like, what is the deal? And but then I was like, all right, I'm gonna ask again. I was like, hey, are you available for this? And then he was like, yes, I am. And then we started grooving together and playing together. And then he was just available. And so the three of us together, and it's been really, really incredible. And through the 7 years of Brandon and I playing together, we fell in love, and we've been married. We got married on October 15th last year. And so to be able to play music and create music and memories and tour the world with my partner and have such a really solid foundation in the music as well as a bassist with a drummer. It's just, it's tops.
Yeah.
It's pretty,
living the
it's
dream, as they say,
cool.
right? Yeah. Living the dream is what it is.
Yeah, I am. And it's a lot of hard work. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of hard work to make it work and be bendy when you don't, when you've been on the road for 3 weeks and everybody doesn't feel like being bendy, but you still have to be bendy for the respect and the love of the craft and the people dedicating their lives to just trying to make memories with other people.
Absolutely. Well, we are so excited to have you guys in a few weeks here and can't wait for it. Danielle, thank you so much for your time today. Certainly do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. We'll talk soon.